Dr. Neva, how are you doing today? Today I'm going to go over how to overcome your fear of public speaking. You know, believe it or not, there are a lot of people that have fear of speaking in public. Yeah, and I was one of those. I remember in high school, the one thing I want to say, I'm a storyteller. In everything I tell a story, I have a story. So in high school, I remember I ran for an office position, meaning that, who wanted to become the vice president, president, treasurer, secretary. I don't recall if I ran for treasurer or secretary. I knew that I wasn't going to run for president or vice president because I was not that popular, but I wanted a position. I wanted to be, recognized for my skills, whatever those skills were at that time. But I remember the day that came where we had to debate and we present ourselves to our fellow classmates. And that day I came dressed in my business suit. Now thinking back, that was the ugliest suit. It was green, like hunter green, full outfit, could not walk in the shoes, had on some stockings that did not match. I was so scared. And I stood there in front of the class auditorium and I started sweating and I froze. But I got my name out. Any case, I did not win. And so I think about how many students, how many people have that fear, no matter where you are. You could be 13 years of age up to 50. There's still people like, no, I don't want to speak in public. Yeah. So how do you get over those fears? Number one thing that comes through your head is, I'll be boring. Guess what? If you think you're going to be boring, you will be boring. Yes. And so you have to, the entire thing for getting over your fears, although I go through these 7 steps, is a mind game. You have to tell yourself, I'm not going to be boring. Right? And always try to find something to talk about that you like, right? So, I've been in a room where there are other presenters, even up to last year, and other presenters, and I'm looking around like, ooh, they have a different way of bringing their message. Doesn't mean yours is not going to be effective. Try not to think that you're going to be boring. Bring a presentation that you like and think about things that you can do in the beginning of the presentation that will let the room listen to you. Again, my format is usually storytelling. Some people use jokes. Some people use magic tricks. Some people use games. Whatever. Questions and answers, right? Number 2, people will laugh at me. If someone laughed during the presentation, smile. I've laughed back. Ha ha ha. Really? What did you say? Okay. And I got them to engage in a conversation with me during my speech, right? So it's okay to even laugh at yourself. Ha ha. Oh, wow. I made a mistake. Yes. And you continue going. Number 3. People will see that you are nervous. That is possible, but again, mind game. At times, even to this day, sometimes I'm nervous right before I step on stage, but once I start speaking, that fear just disappears, that nervousness. So try not to be nervous. If you have to even bring some water with you, before you speak, I've seen some people just sip water because it calms them, right? Some people actually have watched entertainers that they're jumping. Some people meditate just before they speak, whatever it takes to get over that nervousness. Number 4, I'll forget what I have to say. It's happened. And that's okay if you have a cue card to remind yourself. But what if you have those cards, or what if you have that presentation, PowerPoint, whatever, and you still forget what you have to say? What do you do in that circumstance? Well, what I've done in the past, if I forgot what I had to say, whenever I remember it, I say it. And I've remembered sometimes during the Q&A, right? So questions and answers section, I'll remember at that time and I'll bring it up. It says, oh, by the way. Yes? So keep going if you forget and try to backtrack when you remember. It's okay. I've had people totally forget what they had to say, and during their blog or during an email, they'll send, thank you guys. One of the things I'd like to point out, which I eliminated from my speech, is, and they say it. It's okay. We're not perfect. You watch these speakers and you think, oh, they're perfect, they're wonderful. It took some time for them to get there. Number 5, I want to be able to answer people's questions. I've been in the situation where questions are firing at me, and as much as I prepared for questions, I was not prepared for some of the questions. What do? It's okay to say, listen, may I have your contact that I will follow up with you on this question? And I've done so. I've contacted individuals and say, hey, remember you'd asked me about such and such. Here it is. And it's also a good way to keep in touch with people, right? And if you're doing a presentation and you don't have the answer, you could say, you know what? Such and such would be able to answer this further, or, let me take a note of this and I'll get back to you. It's okay to do that. I'll freeze. Listen, guys, again, we're not perfect. And have I ever froze before? I froze where the words could not get out of my mouth. I remember I had to be an MC at an event, and one of the names I stumbled on it, and I was like, And when I caught myself, I continued. And I still parade myself around that room as if nothing happened, right? Listen, it is normal. But one of the things that made me overcome that part, I had friends. I brought friends with me to an event. And when I looked at the friends, they were able, just their look, it's okay. Continue to speak. And that's the look that they gave me, and I feed off of their energy. It's okay, let me continue. I remember one of my past students, she was very nervous in giving presentations. So what she did, she had her little brother, who is her cheerleader, come to class whenever she's doing her presentations. And I thought that was so cute, because her little brother, whenever he had time, he is her cheerleader, and it made her feel comfortable, right? So if you freeze up, try to find something that will make you feel better, whatever it is. Yes, if you freeze, just picture that room empty. There's no one there but you, and the stage is all yours. Number 7, practice in front of your families. I know some of you may like, nope, I'm not going to, because they might be your worst critics, but you have to, at this point, you'll need more than a mirror. And this is when I say call your family and friends and practice in front of them. If you watch like YouTube and some of these old videos with, some of our biggest artists, their family are usually the one they're singing for, acting for, dancing for, whatever it may be. They use their family to basically keep them going, encourage them, and so forth. So listen, guys, overcoming your fear of speaking is not going to happen right away, just like that. Or maybe it does, but say to yourself that you can do it, and just focus. And my thing is always focus on the positive. Right? Listen, your voice is probably the voice that someone wants to hear to motivate them and keep going. All right? Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.